Hello. In this video, I would like to show you an elegant approach how you can extend CKEditor with new features. This video is the third video from the series. The first two videos showcase how to generate the personal notes application in Cursor and then extend the NoteDetail with the CKEditor with handpick features. In this video, I would like to add collaboration feature to this editation part. Alright, let's pause here on the CKEditor homepage. I'm gonna use the premium features of the CKEditor, so I will use my free trial account. So if you want to follow along and play or do what I am doing, just register to the CKEditor and start a trial. Let's get to it. Let's start with the repository. Repository is under my personal account, and the name of the repository is onChange Notes. It's a simple note-taking application, and we'll just go through the README real quick. So you can create, edit, and delete notes. It has the similar UI as the Google Keep, simplified, oversimplified, and the notes are being stored in the browser local storage. There is a handful of features already defined in the CKEditor, and yeah, this is how it looks like. So this is listing and this is the detail. Nothing super special, so let's get to it. If you want to follow along, just git clone repository and we can start working on it. I already did all these preparations, so let's switch to the Visual Studio Code and explore the functionality. Okay, so I'm in the Visual Studio Code. I already cloned everything, so I'll just show you that I have everything in place. The remote is being set, and I have everything up to date. Let's preview the README once again, just to control that everything is ready. So you have everything installed. And the .env file is prepared. Okay, let's run the development environment. And there you go. I already have a couple of notes here from the previous run. I'm trying to create a new node. Looks like it works fine. And here you can see the CKEditor with many features being configured already. So yeah, if you want to do something, you can just create a new node and you have it stored in your local browser storage. It all looks good, but yeah, it's really bad that you can't really collaborate with people. Let's say you want to have the shopping list with your partner or something like that. It would be awesome to just be able to share it as you are having this ability in the, for example, Google Keep. So let's try out and let's use CKEditor, not CD editor, this is a typo, and turn on the collaboration features. So here by code you can see that it's pretty simple React application. We have two routes, listing and detail. Listing has one component called notes list, and this list is loading the nodes from the local storage and then setting them to the state of the component. And if you click on the node, it navigates to the detail component, which is on the road /node/id or GUID of the component or of the node itself. And then in the detail, we just load the node by its ID and display it in the UI and make content editable by the RichText component, which is basically a wrapper around the CKEditor component provided by the CKEditor. There are already the API keys that you need to provide, and now we would like to reconfigure this component and add new features. You can do it manually. If you know the interface, it's fairly simple, but this component was basically generated by the CKEditor Builder. So yeah, these are just a couple of things that I've added, like the onChange event. Yeah, if you want to know more, in the description there is a link to previous video when I'm basically explaining how to add the CKEditor to the application. But in this configuration there is a link to this predefined builder, and with this I'm going to adjust it a little bit. Okay, so this is the editor we configured, and in the configuration there was already a URL where you can regenerate the same thing as we did before. So let's add the collaboration feature. So let's go back to CKEditor feature selection. I will just switch to the advanced view so that we see all the things in the tree. And here in the collaboration, I'm gonna use the real-time collaboration editing and real-time collaboration revision history. So now the CKEditor will look a little bit differently. On the top, you have the list of the present people or users, and if you do some revision, you can see the last revisions. There are some sample revision in this builder, so you can see how this would look like, and you see the diffs in the setup. So now let's go back, or basically forward, to regenerate our code snippets. I used a little bit different approach, not just to copy and paste the code to app.css and app.jsx. I wrapped all this functionality into the rich text component. So, and I renamed the name of the components, and I already add some functionality. So how we are going to do that? I basically started with the CSS. I copy and paste the whole thing, and now I'm in the diff mode, and I'm going one by one to merge my changes that I've already done with the new changes that were added to the CSS. So you can see most of the things on the top. I'm just accepting the old values, yeah, because I was adjusting the width of the editor and container. And this revision history wrapper, and everything else after that is being automatically generated now and added. So now I merge the CSS, and I have all the, let's say, CSS that I used, and now all the setup for the revision history. I just changed the width of the revision history wrapper, because yeah, that's how I did it in the last video, so that it basically shrinks and basically is flexible to the size of the window. And now I'm doing the same for the RichText.tsx. This will have a little bit more changes. So first of all, it changes the URL with the configuration, because we changed it, the configuration. Then I am using the environment variables for the API key and for the license key. So I'm using this or adding this functionality back, because I replaced it. Here there is a new document ID, cloudService token URL, and cloudService WebSocket URL, which is new. So I'm leaving it like that. Here you can see that there are differences in for the white spaces. So because I'm using spaces and the generator is using tabs, so I will fix it in a minute. But for the first thing, I already adjusted the interface of the rich text component. So I added the information or the interface back with content and onChange handler. Here I switch the whole setup to use spaces, and now you can see the proper comparison. You can see that there were some props and some refs already defined. These are the new features that were extracted from the premium features and added to the toolbar. So that's basically just accepting the new features. Here you see the options for collaboration and cloud services. Again, we'll leave it like that. And yeah, we will get to the API, or sorry, to the secret codes or secret URLs later to wrap them to environment variables. Here, yeah, for the initial data, I would like to use my property called content, which is being provided from the upper or parent components. Placeholder feels the same. Revision history and presence list, both are the same, or both are new. And here I'm just adding the typing the definition, because yeah, the generated component is JavaScript, and in this system I'm using TypeScript. So I just set the whole configuration as any to prevent any issues, and disable the TypeScript for the next line. Yeah, since I added the content in there, I need to edit this as a dependency. There you go. So yeah, I did it twice just to showcase you the error that I get. And then there is a use effect for configure update alert. This is something that basically pop up the alert if you don't have your API keys specified. So I deleted it because I deleted it before as well, and the implementation of the function will be deleted in a second. Now, the most important, or one of the most important parts, I hooked the onChange event that is handling storing the data of the CKEditor to the local storage in there. So I'm just getting or putting this functionality back, because yeah, it was not in the part of the boilerplate. This is something I wrote. Again, check out the previous video to know more. So I'm just adding the onChange event for the CKEditor that is calling the parent onChange event, which I named the same. Not the idle situation, sorry about that. But it basically takes care of the data update. Now you can see that there is a new stack underneath about the revision history. This is the new thing, so I will keep it there as well. And let's scroll down to the last part, and this is the function that is basically checking the API keys, whether they are set. So this is function that is not necessary right now because I already have everything taken care of. So I'll just delete the whole thing. And let's test it out. Let's run it. We'll see how it goes. I guess that's it. Okay, so this is how you can adjust the transformation. Normally you're trying to make the changes out of the template or generated content, but this was the ideal or the least invasive solution I came out for this short amount of time. So here you can see CKEditor is automatically assigning me some random name with the initials JR, and yeah, I can create some content. And yeah, let's check out the UI, because yeah, we have the version history. You can see that there is already some version history, because yeah, I was playing around before recording this video. So there is already some version history that you can see in the sample. You will see why it's being stored and how it's being loaded. I will give you a sneak peek. It's because there is a constant for the document ID in which one you are defining what box you should use for storing the content version. So for now it's a constant document underscore ID. That's why it's being loaded from the previous run. Okay, so now let's adjust the document ID. Here you go. You can see it's a constant, but we should use some unique identifier for every single node. Fortunately, when I was designing the application, I assigned every node the unique GUID. So yeah, I will just remove this document ID. I will add a new dependency or prop to the RichText component, and I will set it to note.id when it's being generated, or when you're editing it, it will be propagated here as the document ID. There you go. And now we need to pass this into the configuration to the collaboration feature as a channel ID. So before, that's why the version history was showing some version from the previous runs. And now in the NoteDetail, of course, I need to provide the ID to the component. So there you go. I'm using ID as the param of the URL, and I will just pass it as the document ID to the rich text. Yeah, now I have some complaints that ID can be undefined because the param can be undefined. So I will just add this check here just to be sure. So if the ID is not provided, I will just navigate to the main route or to the home index. There you go. And since this was in the use effect, I still need to sanitize the case when the ID can be identified. So if the ID is undefined, sorry about that, I will just generate the new GUID. I have a specific function in utils, so I will just add the simple check here. Yeah, you can see that the use param can return undefined in this case. This is the function, so I'm just manually generating the GUID. And I need to call it. I just set the definition here. So let's call the function so that we get the GUID. And here we are. Let's test it out. So now every single node should has its own version history. So I created a new one. I created some title, or added some title, added some content. Yeah, I'll explain it once again in the text. And yeah, the GUID is being set. And this one is being used as the document ID. So this is the channel ID. So this is the identification of the whole history for one text area or one CKEditor content. And that's not it, because now I need to implement the sharing functionality. Let's do it as simple as possible. So yeah, just let them send the ID, or ideally, which I think it's a little bit more user-friendly, just send the whole URL, and if the URL is handled by the router and does not know the ID, it will create the shared item with the specific ID that is being sent. So let's go back to the code. Okay, I already picked. So the current behavior is, if I send it out, this is the Incognito window, and I send it with the GUID that is not found in the local storage, it will redirect to the home page. And here I'm just describing it once again in text in the new node. I'm closing the anonymous window as the second user, so that I just showing you the current state, and we will change it in a second. Okay, it's fairly simple. We just go to the NoteDetail, find a place where we are trying to find the node. And if it's not found, because we just send the URL to someone that does not have the record, we just create a new node. Of course, we are not providing the generate GUID. This is just my assistant told me not to. I will mark it as the shared. In this case, we are not sharing the title. There is also a plugin and feature with the title for the CKEditor, but I don't use it. So the title is completely up to you, but the content will leave empty, and we will rely on the CKEditor to fill the content with the latest version. Because we are providing the right channel ID. Because this GUID is used as the channel ID in the CKEditor environment. Good. I didn't set it to create it. So let's create now and create it and modify it, send to now, just for the sake of the use case. So create it and modify it. Okay, so if I don't find the nodes among mine, I will create a new node and I will set it into the into the state of the NoteDetail. All right, so let's try it out. Let's refresh our development environment. Let's create some item, new trial for sharing with some content. You can see that you are getting the name randomly. Now I'm CL. Of course, you can customize it, you can adjust it, but for the sake of showcase, let's keep it like that. You can see I can create the new revision. I don't need to save it, but I can. Now I'm in the latest version, so I don't have any previous version. But if I save it as initial version, it will be there as one record. So here you go. You see Charlton Lisset. This is my automatically generated name. The initial version is in place. If I change something, it will start rewriting the latest version, not the version that I saved. Okay, now I'm open up the Incognito window to emulate the second user. Just give me a second to put it on the screen. There you go. I use the URL. You can see I'm getting the shared node. I'm automatically assigned with a PK, and now I can do the real-time collaboration. So on the right side, it's me logged in into my Google account. On the left side is the incognito mode. You can also see the initial version of the CL, Charlton Lisset. I can adjust the name of this version from the PK user. I can even create my new version, and now we are basically collaborating both on the latest version, real time, and also we can adjust or rewrite or open up the previous version. So you can see that Peter Clare, let's not try to pronounce it once again, made a new version called new milestone, and I can get back to it or not. There is just one issue. You can see on the left, if I went back, the node was not stored. I can just open it up. Again, I'm assigned with another random name, and I can collaborate on it, but I don't have it stored. So now let's adjust that. Again, if you take a look to the handle change, this code snippet or code line basically gets all the nodes from the local storage. In this case, in the guest mode user, it tried to find the node, and since the node was just changing the content in the local state, not in the local storage of the browser, it doesn't find the node. So here I will create the helper function called exists, which will just get all the nodes and GUID which I'm looking at. This is just for the sake of clarity or readability to put it like that. You can inline it, but yeah, I like to have these things named. And yeah, let's delete the generated content again from my assistant. So it basically just check whether the nodes contain the node with this specific GUID. Here, nothing super special. And now if this node exists, yeah, let's adjust the casing. That's because I'm switching the languages quite often. So let's assign the new nodes. So if the current nodes or the current node does not exist, let's create a new node. If not, let's just update the existing one. I think this inlining makes it a little bit more readable. Yeah, it takes some time to put together the syntax, but now, yeah, if the node exists, update it. If the node does not exist, let's create a new node called updated node. And yeah, let's save it afterwards into the local storage. So now we also have the preserve version of the node. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure which of the options I would decide to use, whether to store the node or not store the node. Yeah, it really depends on your necessity or your decision. For the sake of this use case, I just wanted to showcase that this is possible. Of course, this is just a showcase, so there might be some race conditions, and you need to, and I would need to properly test it, how it works when there are multiple versions of, or if there are two versions with the same ID. In this case, it probably wouldn't happen because I'm using GUID for that, so it should be unique all over the world. It doesn't really matter where. But yeah, this is how it should look like. You can see the titles are different. It's based on the user, but the content is now editable and loadable from both parts. You can see now on the right I'm still the JR, on the left I'm FE. If I open it once again, I'm SR, and I can contribute. Of course, it does work with multiple people, but for the sake of the space, I just use 2 users. And yeah, I probably don't have and I would probably need to use the third browser to emulate that. And that's it. I hope you liked this video. If you did so, just hit like and subscribe. If you think that I should add some more features, let me know in the comments. Or if you find or spot any bug or issue that I didn't really think of, like some race condition or something like that, definitely let me know. Let me know in the comments, and I will take a look at it. Okay, see you.